The story for Knack is this weird ruined thingy, and then there's a scientist and a kid, an adventurer guy, and then there's this dude who's obviously evil. He even has his own like James Bond type mistress type person. He's evil. He's obviously fucking evil. You don't say it, but it's obvious he's gonna turn. Then there's goblins. I don't know where goblins came from, but there's goblins in this game, and then they not in the game anymore because they kind of lose focus. That's the main kind of problem with the plot in this game, is that it has no real focus. It just jumps kind of everywhere. And then some characters just say some things that come out of fucking nowhere, and you're just like, what? This doesn't make sense. This turn of events makes no sense. What's with this turn? Like, this character, it was never shown before, whatever. So the plot is kind of incoherent, and the characters are kind of flat and bland a little too. Like, I was kind of getting bored with them. And Knack talks. I did not see that coming either. The gameplay is just, smash, 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 box, 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 so far and so forth. You can jump in the air and throw into a ball and throw yourself to the guy. There's also special moves you can do when you gather the little yellow crystals that make it turn into a tornado. It could Hulk smash the ground and wipe everyone out. There's also little special things you can find that can help Knack with his health, his defense. You can also get like different forms of Knack. It also gives you a combo meter later on down the road, and you could get stronger with each hit you do consecutively, making Knack much stronger. Also one of the big draws is making Knack giant. So usually like you turn giant, the more runes you get, become more stronger in general. There's even some special little things you can get in different levels, like stealth Knack, which makes you invisible and everything. Fire Knack and ice Knack. These don't do too much in gameplay variety. It just kind of looks different. So it is replay value, as you can go back and forth to different stages, but your chapter selected the end of everything, and go find the treasures and everything to make Knack different forms of Knack and so forth and so forth. And what's also pretty cool is that if you want a certain piece, you don't have to take the piece that you find. You can look at your friends list and pick a piece that they found and get it with that. So that also makes it a little bit more flexible. But what kind of sucks is the hit detection. The hit detection can be really iffy at times. Like, you swear you hit the guy and he hits you first, or you go for the hit and it just misses completely. This became even more obvious when I was playing on hard the whole way through. It was even more obvious then. It's just, you go for the hit and they hit you and it's bullshit and you die and you start getting a little frustrated. The checkpoints are hit and miss as well. Some are okay spots, some are kind of far away, so it kind of makes it even more frustrating. And so that's really much it for the gameplay stuff, the gameplay side of things. It's just also there's no real combos or anything like that. It's just, like I said, box, and that's really it. It's there's no like grabs or nothing like that. It's not much variety. So if you could get kind of bored if you just keep whacking box, and that's really it. There is a dodge mechanic in the game as well. It's just like the hit detection. It could work, sometimes it doesn't work. Like, I swear I dodged and the game's like, no you didn't, and I end up getting killed, which is bull crap. Sometimes also the camera could fuck you up. You swear you're on the path just right there, but then you end up falling off because the camera, it's just weird sometimes. Also, the enemies can hit you off camera too, so that's another problem. And there's no real lock on either. So yeah, that's basically it for the gameplay. The presentation is fine. The game is colorful, it's bright. It looks real nice. Even I go the same for the captain model. Captain models are nicely designed, like, cartoon kitty looking graphics. Like, basically it's like kind of like a CG kid show. The models themselves also stand out from one another, so no one looks really the same. The voice acting is also well done too. The characters may be kind of a bit bland and everything, but the voice work is really good. They did a real good job with the voice acting. There is a frame rate problem though, even with cutscenes and gameplay itself. Like, you could see it chugging and everything. I guess that's because this was when the PS4 just launched, so they didn't have the thought process of how it works yet. But yeah, the frame rate can be pretty bad at times when it comes to the cutscenes, which is surprising. And the gameplay itself, when you start to get a lot of the particles on the screen, it chugs and slows down. But not too much that it gets annoying. It's just, it's obvious. You see it there. Another problem is the camera. The camera can be really iffy too. Most of the time it's in a good spot, but there are times where you're trying to walk on a path or fighting the enemy, you end up getting hit from you didn't see. It's just really iffy on that point. Besides that, yeah, the game looks great. It's just the performance itself it's chuggy. Overall, Knack is not an awful game. It's just okay at best. That's the best I can say. It's okay. There are some problems, as I said, as in with the hit detection, which can be kind of detrimental to some with the cheap deaths and everything like that, and the sort of iffy checkpoints. And then there's a presentation, which is again can be chuggy at times with the cutscenes and the gameplay. So yeah, there are problems that, from what I've seen from the Knack 2 trailer stuff, they are fixing. They're adding more combos and stuff like that. Like it looks like a complete reaction to the reception of the first game. I will say that it's not as awful as some are saying, like other reviews are saying. People are just really being harsh on the game, like really harsh. It's just Knack is just okay. That's it. It's just okay. If you want this, a quick, colorful, bright platformer, don't care about the plot at all or characters, just something to play that's pretty short, taking like 10 hours or less to beat, just hop right in. It's not too terrible. And here comes the next game. The plot is straightforward to the park. It's your kid runs away from you in the park, and you get transferred to Silent Hill, the park. Everything's all creepy and scary, and while you walk through the park, you start to see news clippings and stuff that kind of explain the background to the park, like some type of grisly murder and stuff like that. You also get to learn the past of this mother, which is not all too bright. It can get pretty dark. So, that's pretty interesting. And you get to dive in her psyche more, and again, it's interesting. The plot, the ending itself, you kind of interpret it like what happened. This is a tie-in to a game called The Secret World, so probably if you play that game, it makes more sense. But for what it is, standalone itself, not playing The Secret World, I have to say it was, a pretty interesting walk. And speaking of walk, that's what this game is. It's just walking. You walk, and you walk, and you walk. And you pick up some news clippings, and you walk, and you hear talking, and you walk, and you ride some rides, and you walk. This game's basically a walking experience. You're not here to combat ghosts or monsters or goblins or anything like that. It's just you walk and you hear the story. That could be boring to some. It's for a quick game like this. It's it's okay. It's a interesting little tale of a mother that's not all there and her struggles with her kid and life. So if that intrigues you, keep playing it. It's only like 2 hours long. The presentation is pretty good. The game gives a creepy, foreboding atmosphere when you get to the Silent Hill Park. And the areas itself are varied, so you don't get bored of what you're looking at, and even when you ride the rides and stuff like that. The character models themselves are pretty damn fugly. Like, I saw when you see the model the first time, you're just like, ew, man, what the hell? But since it's most of the time first person, it's not really a distraction. You only see the character models probably, if I have to give a percentage, 5% of the game. That's probably the most you see it. The voice acting, and there's a lot of talking, so this is actually important. The voice acting itself starts off rather meh. The voice actors didn't seem to really care. It was kind of boring and bland. But as you go along, you learn more. You see the actress actually getting more and more into the role, giving more emotion. So you start off pretty but you end good. There's no really technical issues, no frame rate, no clipping, no crashing, nothing like that. You're pretty much in for a smooth experience. Overall, the game was pretty good. If you're into these horror walking games with no real gameplay, just exploration and walking, you're in for a good time. The story itself catches your interest as the more and more you go in and trying to figure out if this is all real or mother losing touch, or you're just trying to put the clues together. And again, even without playing the other game, it's still a pretty good experience, even though they don't explain every single thing. The game runs fine. The voice acting, as I said, starts off pretty meh, but it gets better. No real technical problems. There's no real replay value either. You just played the game through once and that's really it. There's no real reason to go back. And the game is really short. So if you just want a quick little horror romp through a park that lasts about an hour, 2 max. 2 hours max, but I would say an hour. It's not too bad. So that was my first, in my opinion, quickie, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, I hope you guys enjoy my thoughts on these games, since it was 2 of them this time around. And for gamer's sake, keep gaming.